Welcome back to the weekend. President Trump has been in office more than 100 days, and his policies have already proven to be disastrous for rural America. From spending cuts at the Department of Agriculture that cut off food banks serving as lifelines for small farmers to Trump's chaotic tariff policies. Talks between the United States and China have raised hopes that the two countries will scale back the tariffs, also known as massive taxes, that both countries have imposed on each other's goods. In Kentucky, farmers face the double hit of historic floods and the trade war with China, the world's top importer of soybeans. And Kentucky's famous spirits industry remains caught in the middle of Trump's on-again, off-again tariff dispute with its biggest customer, Canada. Kentucky's Democratic Governor Andy Beshear has blasted the impact of Trump's tariffs and called on others who oppose them to do the same. And joining us now is the governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Andy Beshear. Mr. Governor, thank you very much for coming to the weekend. Your reaction, talk about the impact of Trump's tariffs on your state and explain how negatively they are impacting Kentuckians.
Well, first, good morning and happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. The tariffs are impacting Kentucky in profoundly negative ways. They're hitting big business. UPS announced major layoffs. They're hitting small businesses where folks that import raw materials from China and can't source it somewhere else are having to lay off people that they know, that they go to church with, whose kids play on their baseball teams. It's hitting farmers who have fewer customers that are out there. It's hitting our signature bourbon industry because of not just of tariffs, but of Donald Trump's attacks on Canada. And they're ultimately hitting every American family by raising prices on everything. And so people are starting to feel betrayed that a president who won because he said he would lower prices is increasing the burden on everyone. And acting like it's not a big deal, talking about having fewer toys, talking about struggling. Well, our people are struggling, and it's really picking up the amount of criticism that you hear every day.
Governor Beshear, one thing that is very important in rural America is gaining access to internet. And I know that, coming from small town Mississippi, how important and what a lifeline it is for communities when they get broadband. Donald Trump, though, has recently said, and I'm going to read the quote, that the Digital Equity Act, a little-known effort to improve high-speed internet access in communities with poor access, was written to help many different groups, including veterans, older people, and disabled and rural communities. So, or he didn't say that. That's what the program is about. But he says that it's racist and unconstitutional. How is this going to impact your efforts to get Kentucky fully wired?
Well, significantly or potentially significantly. This administration thinks that diversity is a dirty word. I believe that it's something that we ought to aim towards, that more voices at the table make us better, that more room at the table makes us stronger. And they seem to think that diversity is only about race. It's not. It's also about poverty. It's about disability. It's about veterans. And so when you look at those programs, they basically put money into rural America. They put money into Appalachia. They put money into Kentucky. And so I have significant concerns about the impact that program and pulling it back could have. But also I have concerns about the BEAD program overall. I mean, certainly there were problems in the last administration with so many regulations. It just took too long, and that's something I expressed during that administration. But we haven't seen a single dollar on it go out in this administration. This was the promise, a bipartisan bill where we were going to bring internet to every part of America, make us competitive with every part of the world, open up new markets for anyone, anywhere that wanted to start a business, or any child anywhere that could see a Nobel laureate for their education. So it's really important that we continue to push to get that program out, because it can be a game changer, not just for parts of my state, but parts of America that have been overlooked.
Governor Beshear, after 2024, there's been a lot of conversation about how the party can talk to moderate voters that may have turned their back, while at the same time making sure that the marginalized groups, these diverse groups you're talking about, continue to be a part of the coalition. And I think, you wrote an op-ed that said, "I'm the governor of Kentucky. Here's how Democrats can win again." And I want to read a little bit to you. "None of this means we abandon important values and principles. As governor, I have vetoed numerous anti-LGBTQ and anti-choice bills, yet I still beat Mr. Trump's handpicked candidate last fall. That happened because even if some voters might have disagreed with the vetoes, they knew the next day I would be announcing new jobs, opening a new health clinic, or finishing a new road that would cut 20 minutes off their commuting." And, there are other Democrats out there, some of the governors that are serving with you, Governor Newsom, who are taking a different tact, right, when talking about trans issues. And I'm curious how you think the Democrats should be balancing getting those moderates while making sure they're continuing to do what they say they do, which is defend and protect the least among us.
Well, I think there are three things that the Democratic Party needs to do to re-earn the faith of all of the American people. And the first is focus. It's the idea that when people wake up in the morning, they're not thinking about the next election. They're thinking about their job and whether they make enough to support their family. They're thinking about the roads and bridges they drive that day. They're thinking about their next doctor's appointment, the public school they drop their kids off at, and public safety in their community. And even if folks are really passionate about this issue or that issue, if they're struggling to pay their kid's prescription, it's hard to get to anything else. And so I believe we as Democrats need to spend 80% of our time trying to better people's lives through those issues, because they better everyone's life. They leave no one out. I think the second thing we've got to do is talk to people like normal human beings. I think that there was some advocacy speak that was well-intentioned, but took the meaning out of a lot of words that we use. In Kentucky, we got hit by the opioid epidemic harder than anyone. I've known a lot of people who've gone through addiction, and they all call it addiction. None of them call it substance use disorder. We know people that have gone through hunger, and none of them called it food insecurity. And so it's important that we use words that have real meaning, especially when we're trying to address the challenges of those that are going through them. And the last one, and I think this is how we talk about some of the other issues, is explaining our why, not just what we believe. Democrats get bogged down in policy point 3, subheading 2, bullet point 4. But what we don't get is beyond the what to the why. So when I vetoed that really nasty anti-LGBTQ plus bill during my election year, I did it because my faith teaches me that all children are children of God. And I didn't want a legislature picking on those kids. And if they were going to show them hate, I was going to show them love. I mean, that's my job. And those kids, I mean, they are Kentucky kids that deserve to have the support of all of their government. And if part of it wasn't going to be there for them, I certainly was going to be.
Sorry, as a now gay man, I just needed to let that wash over me to hear a governor talk with such care and concern about kids like me, kids like us, is really, truly something. Governor, your name is bandied about for positions higher than governor. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer did his best to get you to run for Senate, and you said, nah. According to Politico, however, I'm going to read this Politico headline to you. Andy Beshear is making serious moves toward a 2028 presidential run. He's meeting privately with donors, recording a podcast, and regularly popping up at national events. A former Kamala Harris communication staffer is consulting for him. Governor, this true?
What I'm trying to do right now is to first be the best governor I can be, but then also to be a reasonable voice that's out there, that seeks common ground, that uses common sense, and that gets things done. In this vacuum where there's lots of voices that are out there, I think that we need a voice, and there are more voices than just me, that, again, stand up for our values, but also have the type of focus that can bring working Americans back to the Democratic Party. Now, this year, I'm the vice chair of the Democratic Governors Association. Next year, I'm the chair, and I have 36 races. And so if I do things right, we'll have a lot more names in that paragraph about 2028. If I do things right next year, we're going to have a big stage, a giant primary that'll generate lots of excitement. So that's my goal. And I want to make sure that we are driving this party in a way that creates a bigger tent, that welcomes people in, that, like you said, shows that we will stand up for the marginalized while still focusing on those things that can make every single American's life better.
Governor, I'm going to try this one more time because I know we know how this tap dance works. But, you know, in Elena Schneider's article, she also says, in talking about the other governors, you don't represent the fifth wealthiest economy along with its billionaire networks, like California Governor Gavin Newsom, not a billionaire himself like Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, not well known on the cable news airwaves or the high dollar donor circuit like Purple State regulars Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan or Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. So I guess my question, if someone maybe with the initials AB were to run for president, what would they bring to that stage that you're talking about?
Well, I think that they would be the only candidate that's won in a very red state that has increased their margin every time that they've run. The idea that if you can convince voters in a tough state like Kentucky that you'll do the right things and stand up for them, then you can certainly talk to voters in a swing state. And in the end, I think Americans want a sense of normalcy. They want stability. They want a common sense, common ground, get things done type of governor. Now, everybody else you mentioned is a good friend of mine, and they would be great candidates as well. I think we will be better off to have a lot of candidates if we do this right, and more than just governors, though I definitely favor governors, that are out there that are generating energy in a way that you saw on the other side, say, in 2016.
Well, the governor said they, so he's keeping it gender non-binary.
Keeping it quiet, but we appreciate you playing with us a little bit with that answer. Thank you, Governor, so much for coming on, and we will have to have you again, maybe if you have something to announce in the next couple of years.